Alright, in the last lecture we have learned how to insert a node to a circle single linked list in 3 cases. So in this video we will look at how the algorithm of insertion in circle single linked list works. So here our algorithm starts with 2 parameters. So it takes node value and location. Now the first step is we are going to check that if linked list exists or not. If it does not exist, we will return an error and terminate our algorithm. So in this case, if it does not exist, we are terminating our algorithm over here. If it exists, we are continuing to the next step. Now in the next step, we are going to create a new node based on node class, and we are going to assign a value that comes from the node value to this new node over here. Then after doing so, we are going to check location parameter. So if the location parameter is equal to first, it means that we want to insert this new node at the beginning of this circle single linked list. So in this case, these are the operations that we are going to perform. So the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to update the next reference to point to head. Now in this case, in head, we have first node's value. This means that we are updating new node's reference to point to first node. Then we are going to change the head reference to point to this new node, because this new node is going to be the first node in our circle single linked list. That's why we are updating head to point to this new node. Then, as we know, in case of circle single linked list, last node has to point to new node. So if we access the tail.next, we are accessing last node's next reference. So this means that we are updating it this new node. Now with these 3 operations over here, we are inserting a node at the beginning of circle single linked list. And after doing these operations, we are going to terminate our algorithm. Now the next case is if the location is not equal to first, if it is equal to last, then in this case we need to insert a node at the end of circle single linked list. Now in this case, we have to perform these operations over here. Now the first thing that we are going to do, we have to update new node's next reference to point to the first node. So how can we do that? So we are writing new node.next. To get the first node physical location, we are accessing tail.next. Now in this case, tail.next is the last node's next reference. So if we update last node's next reference to the new node's next reference, it means that we are updating first node's physical location to this new node's next reference. Then we have to change the last node's next reference to point to this newly created node, because this newly created node is going to be the last node in our circle single linked list. So last node's next reference has to point to this node. Now by accessing tail.next, we are updating this to new node. Now at the end, tail has to point to this new node. So we are updating tail reference to point to this new node over here. So after finishing this, we are terminating our algorithm. Now the last case is we are inserting a node at a specified location. So in this case, we need to loop through the nodes until we find the location in which we are going to insert new node. Now when we find it, we are going to update new node's next reference to point to the node which is after the current node. So we are inserting a node between current node and next node, so we need to change the new node's next reference to point to the next node. So to access the physical location of next node, we need to use current node's next reference. So by setting current node's next reference to new node's next reference, we are creating a link between new node and next node. Then we need to create a link between current node and this newly created node. So we have to update current node's next reference to this new node over here. Then after doing so, we have successfully inserted a node between current node and next node. Then after these operations, we are going to terminate our algorithm over here. So basically this is how algorithm of insertion in circle single linked list looks like. So here we have combined all 3 cases together and we have created an algorithm like this. Now based on this algorithm, we are going to create a method which is inserting a node in circle single linked list, and this method will combine all these 3 cases based on this algorithm over here. So the reason that I have created this algorithm over here like this, by using this algorithm, it makes our life easier to implement a method for inserting a node in circle single linked list. Now based on this algorithm, we are going to create our method in Java in the next lecture. So see you in the next lecture.